get my 6. There you have it, guys. We've got our new chickens. 3 beautiful silver leghorns in their beautiful little coop we got. And now, as darkness begins to fall on their first night being spent here at our potentially haunted homestead, where we may or may not have a Bigfoot Sasquatch, among other things, living in the forest behind our home, we will do a security sweep around the perimeter in search of the killers. So who or what are these killers? That's us at a place called the Chocolate Hills. It's on the island of Bohol in the Philippines. See those mountains back there? They look like gumdrops. There's 1,776 of those mountains. You know how I remember that? Because it's the year 1776, the year of our nation's independence. All right, so anyway, we're going to talk about these killers as we look for them. But here's the strange thing about this coffee mug. I've got hot coffee in it right now because I just had my nap. Been out running around today getting chickens, as you can see there for Miss Dearly. By the way, if you guys have not gone over to subscribe to her channel yet, it's called Life with Dearly. Go watch it if you want to be updated like daily on those chickens. That's her new project, which is really like an old project that we're getting back into. But she just published a video earlier of us going to get them and everything she's done to prepare for them. Yesterday she put on a video there of it's supposed to be us putting together that chicken coop. It was really me putting together that chicken coop. Bless her heart, though. She stands there and looks pretty while I work. It's good enough for me. Anyway, she got me this mug for Father's Day like 3 years ago. And it was solid black. It was jet black. But the thing of it is, it's temperature activated. So I opened it up and it was just a pitch black mug. And she was like, oh, it's supposed to have our picture on it of us at the Chocolate Hills. I'm like, well, that's okay, honey. They probably just goofed it up or something. So we stuck it in the cabinet. I didn't use it for like 6 months. And then one day I was going to have coffee and it was like the only clean coffee cup that we had, whatever. I was like, I guess I'll use that weird black coffee mug. So I poured the hot coffee in it and it heated up and it exposed the pictures. And my coffee's cooling down. That's why you can barely see the pictures. But the hotter the temperature, the more you can see the images. Now, let's start doing our backwards walk here. Let's see what we can sneak up on. Okay, so the first killers that we had to deal with when it came to all things chicken was at night. It was raccoons. We didn't know what we were doing. You know, we had just moved here from the Philippines and we had chickens over there and we had rabbits over there, and it's like over there, and I'm just saying it as it is. This is what it is. Over there, your biggest concern is making sure all your friendly neighbors don't steal your animals. There wasn't any sort of live or wildlife to have to worry about because there's not much there other than the wildlife in the sea and the wildlife on the non-populated islands. Just there's so much to it. Where the people are, there's not a whole lot of wildlife, even birds. There's 7,107 islands over there. People populate about 4,000 of them. On the other 3,107 islands, they've got one of the most diverse biosystems on Earth. So many animals, but the two typically they just don't mix. So anyway, we come here. Man, let me tell you something about having chickens, at least in Virginia, Central Virginia. Everything out here is trying to kill your chickens. We would lose a rooster. It's sad. It was really sad. We just didn't know what we were doing. We thought we were predator proofing our cages, but we weren't. We lost chickens to raccoons, possums, foxes, we would free range our chickens, and we will those at times, in time, when the time's appropriate, when we're out here with them. But man, we learned quickly that cock-a-doodle-doo translates to "here I am, come and kill me," because we'd get a rooster, he'd be, quarter of a mile away from us down there in a field or something, and he'd be cock-a-doodle-dooing, and then all these birds of prey would just start dive bombing from the sky. But we finally figured it out. And we finally figured out how to keep our chickens. Yeah, I saw it. Keep watching. This is the time of day him, her, it, or they like to show up. And I'm hoping that with their gift that they left recently, that was them saying it's okay for us to get livestock again. We've got chickens. We're going to be getting rabbits. And we are considering, no promises, considering goats. Among other things, even, wait for it, a dog. Yes, everybody's always saying, you need a dog, with all that creepy stuff around there, you need a dog. It's being considered, okay? Now, once we got everything figured out to where we knew how to keep the chickens to where the wildlife couldn't kill them, we had one strange incident happen, and it happened in that pen where those chickens are now. But it happened in an old coop that I built and that I had predator proof. We have company. Okay, so you know how hard it is to focus on what you're trying to talk about when potentially you have these things running around behind you, knocking on trees with sticks. And that's without even taking into consideration, you don't even know exactly what these things behind you are. I mean, the tree knocks, we kind of have that narrowed down to, but all that other stuff, I made a video the other day, and I read the comments. I mean, but everybody kept time stamping something because they're like, what was that? It's so-and-so, such and so. I think it was like 306 or something. So I went back and looked at it, and it was like some very strange. Oh, that scared me. That's just a little cedar tree. I know it looks like there's something standing there beside that tree, but it's just a cedar tree. There was some very strange light variance. It looked like it shot by me like a UFO or something. I went back and looked at that over and over. Somebody even said, was that a glare from the camera? How could it have been? There was nothing back there for it to reflect off of. It was just some sort of strange light entity shaped like a spaceship. It just flew right by my head. Crazy, I know. So anyway, here's the story about the last chickens we had in that pen down there. I think it's a cedar tree. All right, so this is right around the time the weird stuff started happening. Came out one morning. You know what? And this is how I know it was around that time. It's when I just started making these weird videos that make no sense. You know what I mean? All these videos I put on here that make no sense. And like the title has nothing to do with the video, because like what kind of title could have anything to do with these types of videos? Do you know how many people come to this channel? They've never been here, but for some reason, that was a tractor backfiring and somebody was starting it up. I thought that was like the loudest tree knock ever captured on video. But I did hear something creepy back here right before that happened. I'll tell you, man, sound carries out here in the country. especially in the winter when all the leaves are off the trees, that tractor is on a farm, probably a good, well, yeah, a mile away. You know that expression, the squeaky wheel gets the oil? Obviously, the farmer on that tractor has not heard that expression, as you can tell by hearing that squeaky wheel, which obviously has not gotten any oil. All right, so anyway, I just started making these strange videos. I remember the titles of a couple of them. One was called like, when you see it, type the sum of 3 and 4 or something like that. You know, I know a lot of people saw it, and a couple people got it right. They typed the sum of 3 and 4. Like a lot of people typed 7. Like, look at me, I'm good at math. Yeah, you just suck at following directions. You're not supposed to type a number. You're supposed to type the sum of 3 and 4. It's words. So anyway, and then there was something else. I don't, yeah, I saw that. Did you see that? Let's go over here in the woods. See, I think they might be coming down to investigate the chickens. So anyway, there was something else, something in the snow. Most of those were filmed in the snow because it was this time of year, it's January-ish. Coffee's pretty much cold now. See, the mug's just about all black. All right, so I came out one morning, checked the chickens. And that door that we had on that coop was wooden framed. I built it all myself. It had chicken wire, excuse me. So they couldn't get out, nothing could get in. But our rooster had been murdered. It had been killed overnight. Somebody or something had opened that. They had untied it, wrung the rooster's neck, and then tied it back. And it snowed that night. It snowed heavily. So who or whatever did that did it before the snow came because there were no tracks. Any tracks that would have been left had been buried in the snow. And so shortly after that, our other chickens perished, and we decided we just weren't going to have them anymore. But we would like to think that we have built up enough of a rapport with what in the heck ever is up here that we can have chickens again without them, you know, dispatching them. I think that's a word I'm allowed to say on social media. Dispatch. Man, it's going to be like they're going to have to write a whole nother dictionary for the things you can and cannot. These are the words you use on social media. All right, so now that I've walked around and finished my coffee, introduced you to our new chickens, and highly suggest you go to my beautiful bride Dearly, aka Giggly Girl's channel, Life with Dearly, to get daily updates on those chickens. Not like I won't tell you about them too. It's almost dark. I'm within sight of the chicken coop, so I'm gonna reverse the camera and see if we can zoom into the woods and see if we can see anything. I hear footsteps already. Let's see if we can find any killers, be they four-legged or two, coming for our chickens. All right, it's almost too dark to see, but down there's the chicken coop. Right there. So now, someone asked if I make these videos on the ley lines that cross my property. The answer is yes. There's a reason I make the majority of these videos back here. I've got this pretty sizable piece of land, but I make all the videos back here, and it's for a reason. This is where the ley lines cross. This is where we get the majority of all the strange activity. So why wouldn't I make them back here? Yep, I'm hearing footsteps. there's something big back there. If I had a nickel for every time this happened, something we can clearly hear walking just out of sight of the reach of the camera, if I had a nickel every time that happened, I would have probably like, I don't know, $40 or $50. And they stopped because I'm talking again. It's like I walk and I talk, and then when I shut up, you hear them trying to catch up. They obviously did, and they're just listening. They're just listening. Some people say they like hearing my stories. Hey, speaking of which, did you guys like that story last night about the one that got away? Only about half as many of you watched that video as usual. That's okay. I enjoyed telling that story. I just kind of wanted to tell that. It's based on, true events. You know, my buddy JR, who's no longer with us. If you do like my stories, you gotta be reading those Bigfoot Sasquatch files, volumes 1 through 7 now. I think a lot of you missed 6 and 7 over the Christmas season because you were busy with Christmas. But, you know, you can get them on Amazon. The link's in the description box below. And I hope to have volume 8 out by the end of January. However, in regard to our search for the killer here this evening, we might have one trailing us right over here, just out of range of the camera. And I know everybody's like, why don't you just run over there and blah, blah, blah. Why don't you just run over there and blah, blah, blah. I don't see you going over there. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know if they like my stories or not, but they sure as heck seem to like listening, don't they? All right, well, those chickens should be at roost right now, so let's go shut them up. You know, I put wire underneath that cage after I got that coop put together, and Dearly shows that in her video she made of that today. I flipped that sucker over on its side and put chicken wire across the whole bottom of that thing because, thank you, not everybody who comments on here is like, blah, blah, blah. Some people give they give great advice. It's not even criticism, not even constructive criticism. It's good advice. Some lady said that her son had a chicken coop just like that, and the predators would dig their way underneath to get into it and kill the chickens. I read that and said, you know what, I put chicken wire under there, so thank you for that comment. I appreciate those comments much more than the blah, blah, blahs. Yeah, I'm seeing the chicken coop right now. It looks like they've made their way to the inside where they're supposed to perch and sleep. So that means I can get in there and shut them up. All right, good. Yeah, here's something weird. I use these dusk to dawn lights out here sometimes close to the chicken pen. It's working now. See that? Sometimes they just go out, and I know that's associated with paranormal activity. It's on now, so I guess that means we're safe for now. So let's get in here and shut these chickens up. This is their first night. Oh gosh, I'm too big to fit through the cage. I don't know if I can even do this. Let's see. It's too dark to see, but they're in there. There's a little roost in there, but you can see they're not down here. So they're in there. I've got to slide this door over with the other. There we go. So watch this. All I got to do, I don't even need to get in there. I just slide this door over with my hand. Look at that. That's easy enough. Then tomorrow, I'll just slide it back open. A little latch. There, that's pretty easy. So this is shut. It's got a side door here. This is shut and latched. And this is shut and latched. So that everybody's secure here for their first night. All right, guys. Well, that's it. So make sure to check back tomorrow and we'll give you the updates to see if they survived their first night. And tomorrow will be their first full day here. Check back to make sure that the killers did not attack. See you for more then at the PBS S, the potential Bigfoot Sasquatch show.